Hey, everybody, it's Jeff today with your Way Weekly, and this is a big one. I'm talking about a topic, life purpose, that a lot of people have a lot of energy for and are on the hunt for and are confused about the process. And so I want to share with you something here that might be a little bit longer than my typical 4 minute deal. So you might want to listen to it twice because I'm going to go quickly. You might want to take notes, so that's fine too. And I'm going to frame it within the macro structure of the way. So here you go, how to figure out your life purpose. So at the way, we talk about three key things. We talk about freedom, we talk about purpose, then we talk about joy. And those are in a very specific order. When we talk about freedom, we're talking about the psychological, the emotional, and the spiritual freedom from lies, from limiting beliefs, from fears that are holding us back, lies and limiting beliefs and fears about God, about ourselves, about money, about government, about the world in general. And these are things that we want to help people root out and bring in the truth so that they can start to flourish. Now, as they start to flourish and they can live selflessly because they're not bound up by fear, now they can live self-sacrificially. And that leads us to purpose. What do I go do with my life? What are the problems in the world that I can be a part of the solution to in a way that's good for me, good for others, and glorifying to God? So to figure out that purpose, and just to be clear, it's not really your life purpose. It's your role within God's larger purpose of bringing peace and shalom and wholeness and restoration to the world. And that's purpose, joy. Once you start to live in that flow, you will experience joy and people around you will experience joy. The way I look at life purpose is to understand what's the purpose of life. And the purpose of life is to know that we came from love. God is pure love, pure spirit, pure intelligence. We came from love to be loved. That's the process of freedom. To go love. That's your purpose. And that leads to joy. When you're being used and in sync with your design, oh man, that's great joy. So that's what we're talking about here. Now, you've noticed I probably spent a lot of time talking about the freedom piece. So today it's all about the purpose piece. And you got to understand God has two types of purpose in mind. You can see it throughout Scripture. He has spiritual restoration and wholeness, and he also had a social agenda around social restoration and equity. And so the challenge for us is to think about what are the problems within that space that I could get excited about using my skills and my resources and my platform, whether it's the business I own, the business I work in, whether it's church, whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's just what I do in my neighborhood, what I do in my country club, what I do at the university and the legal firm, just using our platforms to be a player in God's strategies around social restoration and spiritual restoration. And so if you can look at it through Scripture, God has encouraged us to get engaged in solving a handful of key problems. Let me read them to you. What are those key problems? Number one is to reunite people back to Him, to just let people know God is on your side. Jesus died to bridge you back. You've got this available to you. You've got a God cheering you on who loves you and wants to empower you. That's one thing He wants us working on. He also wants us to give mercy to people. He wants us to give justice to the oppressed. He wants us to take care of widows and orphans. He wants us to cast out demons. There is a spiritual realm that's going on, and at least in America, as far as I could tell, where there is a spiritual dynamic, where there's a battle between powers and principalities, and we have the opportunity to cast out demons that are holding people back. What else does he want us to focus on? Pick one, whatever you want. Spur one another on to love and good deeds. How you doing that in your country club? How you doing that in your community college? You know, there's lots of creative ways to do these things. He also wants us to be peacemakers, to visit the imprisoned, to give care for those that are ill, to clothe the naked, to give shelter to the immigrant, to care and tend for this planet. So there's all these different things that God is encouraging us to be restorative agents of his healing and loving transformation. And so get yourself healed and then go be a healer. As we like to say it the way, be loved, go love. How can you use your time, talent, treasure, sphere of influence, place of work, through money and through action, to take territory on the broken parts of this thing and bring it into God's kingdom and God's glory and God's grace, so that people can live in love and flourishing and shalom. So that's it for today, folks. Be loved, go love.